Hey guys, so Shani here with a little bit of a different kind of video today. Ignore all my water bottles. So I just wanted to do a really quick, I wanted to put together some page kits from all my scraps. If you saw my video last week, I had a lot of fun playing with scraps and just using random stuff and kind of using different stuff than I would normally use. And I think it just came out with a really cool effect and really cool look on my page. So I wanted to put together a few page kits using all of my scraps. But first, I wanted to go through and just show you how I store my scraps, because it's something I struggled with for a long time because I couldn't figure out what would work for me. And I tried a lot of different things, and this is what ended up, this has been my best solution. This thing is called a sticker stadium. You can see it goes from bigger to little, and I got mine at Hobby Lobby. I think they sell them, I've seen them on Amazon as well. At Hobby Lobby regular price, I think they're like $12.99. So with a coupon, obviously cheaper than that. And it seriously, it has been my favorite thing. I bought it a long time ago to actually store embellishments in, and it just kind of was random that I started putting scraps in it, but it has been a lifesaver because I put my largest scraps back here. I have tissue paper in the very, very back. And then my scraps just get smaller as I go down. And then I can kind of sift through really easily and just find whatever looks good. Depending on the size, if I need something that's 12 inches wide, I can look here and find like strips or like my larger pieces in the back. Or if I need something really small, I can go up here to the front and find some little pieces. It's not the most organized, obviously, because it's just kind of all over the place and crazy. But for how I scrapbook, I like to dig through my supplies. A lot of people like their scraps organized by color or by size or whatever. I just throw everything in this thing. Again, putting smaller bits to the front and larger bits to the back. Tissue paper in the very back. And then I also, from some recent packages that I've gotten recently, sorry, that was redundant. From some packages I've gotten recently, I threw the little glassine bags and craft bags in here just so I could maybe try to use those on some layouts as well as some tucking pieces. So now I'm going to turn the camera around, but I just wanted to give y'all a look at this in case it's something that might work for you. Like I said, again, I like digging through things to find something that works because I feel like I usually end up with something, either if I don't have something in mind, it's really easy to find something, or if I do have something in mind, sometimes I end up with something better than I had in mind, or like my scrap layout that I did recently, sometimes I end up with things that I wouldn't normally put together, but that I really end up liking in the end. So I'm going to turn the camera, like I'm going to mount it back up and put together some kits, and then you'll see how that goes. So hold on. Okay, I'm back. I've got the camera pointed down now, and I've got the sticker stadium full of scraps in my lap right now, and I'm just going to start pulling some stuff out and putting some kits together just randomly. And right now I'm just gonna kind of pull out stuff I love, or like colors I really like. I kind of like all of that together actually. And just put some random stuff together. And then I'll keep them, I will probably put them in regular page protectors, just to kind of keep everything together and separate it out. And there's not really any rhyme or reason at this point for what I'm doing. I'm just putting things I like together and kind of mixing and matching. Kind of like that. If you haven't been around for a while, I like kind of random things together. Like I I'm not the kind of person that I'm going to pull this page out and say, okay, there's yellow, blue, and red, and pink in this, so I'm only going to pull those colors for this layout. I am much more of like a B-side kind of girl. I like these more like neutral kind of simple patterns, like a lot of tone on tone I like. And this doesn't look like much because it's not, but I can cut a strip of that and just tuck it in the side of a layering cluster. And scraps is one of those things I feel like it's really best on how you scrapbook. I like random, and I like, sorry, I'm very ADHD and I've got a lot of things going in my brain right now. I like really kind of random stuff, and I like contrasting stuff that you normally wouldn't put together. And, oh, that's not what I was saying. What I was saying is I feel like it is very much going to be based on how you scrapbook. Like, for instance, a lot of people would not keep a scrap that small, or this piece, but it was my favorite paper in that whole stack, and so I had to save it because I loved it. So I saved it. If you don't like that, and if you don't like using tiny bits like that or storing tiny bits like that, then just throw them away. It is all based on whatever makes you happy and what you like in a page. And I don't know about you guys, but I really like that pink with that bright scarlety red. I've really been into that lately. I am not a red person by any means. Like, I usually don't like red at all, just on a normal basis. But I really like that pink and red, and I really like that scarlety red. And I'm just kind of digging and playing with stuff and just pulling out random bits and pieces, stuff for layering and stuff. I'll pull out some bigger pieces too, but right now I'm just having fun with these little tiny bits in the front. And I am going kind of section by section, working at the front where there are smaller pieces, and then working backwards. So I'm not in the back pulling big pieces right now. Ooh, this is kind of cool. It's like corrugated looking, but it's not actually corrugated. Oh, there's some more of that green stripe. This is probably my favorite color of all time, is that like citron-y green. Oh, you can also, sorry, if you see my arm, I got sunburnt like a week ago, so I'm kind of peely. It's kind of disgusting. Sorry about that. But anyways, that is like probably my favorite color of all time, is that citron-y color. And I've also been super into periwinkle lately. I bought some paint, and I ordered some mist that's not here yet. Even though I'm supposed to be on a spinning freeze, I did not stick to that. Sorry. Anyways, and then what else is in that one? And then I also, what was I saying? Oh, I've been really into that periwinkle color too. Oh, and then Iris Fox, Whimsy Fox Crafts. If you don't follow her, she's the best. And she has an Etsy shop that's really cool, and she's got a bunch of homemade stuff. Ooh, I like that with that. She's got a bunch of homemade embellishments and bits, like little felt hearts and stuff. I think you've probably seen me use them on pages. And her stuff's amazing, but she just came out with hearts that are supposed to be coming my way soonish. That are periwinkle, so I'm super excited about the periwinkle hearts. That'll be another one. Oh, more of that. I didn't realize I had so much of that heart paper. I maybe didn't have to hoard it as bad as I did. Ooh, that one goes with that. Oh, I kind of like that blue with that yellow. And like I said before, it's all really just a matter of how you scrap. If these mixes don't make you happy, don't do it. But I really like, I think I'm getting kind of repetitive, but I really like this idea of using scraps to build little page kits, because it's gonna be a lot of fun, I think, in the end. And I'll get some really cool layered, funky kind of layouts out of it. Ooh, I like that. Another thing that would be cool with this is if you wanted to, you could also build page kits. Sorry, I'm talking kind of quietly. And the air conditioning kicked on, so it's a little, I don't know if you can hear it, but if it sounds a little weird, it's that. I'm sorry. I don't know what I was saying. But anyways, this is a really good way to use up scraps that I am one that I usually do pull scraps for a page. Just pull out of my scraps to just make up my layers and stuff. But they're getting kind of overwhelming, if you didn't notice, whenever I pulled it out a minute ago. So I think it'll be good to kind of sort through and get a bunch of stuff used up. I like that. And at this point, I don't have any pictures in mind. I'm just pulling stuff I like, that I like together, I think would be kind of cool or funky together. And of course, I'll go in and add embellishments later. I'm not at that point now, and right now I'm just pulling fun things. Yeah. There's that. I think I had some of this somewhere. Did I have it in here? No, that's different. I like that better though. I really like that kind of colored mustardy yellow as well. And of course, I'm not pulling everything out. I'm just kind of pulling as I go and as I like things. I don't like that anymore. Do its own thing. Ooh, that's pretty. That one. Let me know down below if this is something you guys do. If you use scraps a lot, or if you've ever done like a page kit out of scraps. That would be kind of cool to know how it worked out for you. I'm not doing a big kit. I'm just doing some smaller page kits. About that. So, in my head, how this will work is everything in a stack is going to be its own page kit. So it'll be for one page. So that'll be for one page. That's one page. That's one page, etc., etc. And then from there, I'll just kind of go and, ooh, that's fun. Like that. And then kind of decide later what photos will go with everything and all that. No, because that's got that bronze color. I kind of like it that. Oh, I like that, yeah. And another thing is, like, you could, once you get all of this together, you could go in and put, sorry, I got really distracted mentally. You could go in, you could go in and add all your embellishments and have like entire kits and go from there. Or you could build larger kits like this and use it for like a month at a time or something like that. Mine's just going to be short term, not short term. Individual kits, sorry. Again, I am very on the ADHD side, so everything's like a little bit crazy in my head and I don't ever remember what I'm talking about. Which is one reason I don't usually do lives. I usually wait and do voiceovers, and I hope I'm not talking quiet enough that you can't hear me. Because I sometimes do that. That's a really fun bright yellow. No, I'm gonna wait for that. I like that. And it's, again, all... I just keep saying the same things over because I can't think of anything else to say right now. But it is all based on what you like or dislike. Don't add things to a stack that you don't like or that you wouldn't use. I obviously like random crazy colors together, so that's what I'm doing. Oh, I kind of like that. Ooh, that's fun grid paper. I like that. That goes. Okay, I'm going to take a short little break and kind of group things up a little better and then clear off a little bit, and then we'll do some more. Okay, I'm back. I will show you at the end my little binder that I've put together for this. But so far I've got 8 kits built. And now I'm just going to keep going and just keep adding some more stuff. Another thing, a lot of people worry about pulling, sorry, I'm getting distracted. Pulling, like mixing, like this is a white based and this is more like a cream based. I mean, it's mint or aqua or whatever, but you can tell that it is a cream base. It's also from Echo Park. It's the this and that collection. It's all cream based. And then this is Heidi Swap, and it's obviously very white based. As long as it looks good together and you like it, I say go for it. Because except I like that better than this. I don't really worry so much with that as long as I like what it looks like. And it's, again, it's all about preference and how you scrap. If you do not like that, do not do it. If you don't like mixing, ooh, that was that. If you don't like mixing creams and whites and all that, then don't do it and just stick with whatever you do like. And don't. Another thing that a lot of people have been talking about purging lately, and I know there's like a ton of YouTubers right now that are on like spinning freezes and trying to use up all their scraps. And I should be on a spinning freeze, and I was supposed to be, but I am really bad at not spending money. And I really like pretty things. Anyway, so, but my spinning freeze is not because I need to use up all my product. It is because I spend too much money. I like that with that. And I'm going to put this with it, but I'm probably not going to use that yellow. I like that grid. I was just telling somebody today on Instagram that I am a self-proclaimed hoarder, and I like to collect things, and I don't like to purge or get rid of things. It makes me very uncomfortable, so I don't. I mean, obviously, if it's something I don't like and don't want and am not going to use, I'll get rid of it. But if it's something I like and either use often or want to use, or and am just hoarding because I don't want to use it all up or something like that, that is when I don't get rid of it because it is too pretty. That, I feel like that didn't make a lot of sense what I just said, but I've got a lot mentally going on here. Moral of the story, don't do things just because other people tell you to or are doing them. Do what makes you happy, especially in scrapbooking, because why else are you scrapbooking unless it makes you happy? If it doesn't make you happy, then why are you doing it? Oh, I like that. And then I don't know where I'm going with all of this mentally. Like that. Still just kind of adding things. I might be getting a little too much. I don't know. It'll go over here. Maybe that green. Oh, I do kind of... See, I'm telling you, I like weird things together. I kind of like it with that, too. That brown with the... Yeah. So, there's that. I like that. I'm going to keep it over here. Another thing, that I was going to say, what was it? Sorry, if you are very bored with this, me just randomly saying things or getting frustrated that I start talking and then lose my train of thought and move on to something else, just go ahead and fast forward, and at the end I will show you what my binder looks like so that you can kind of get a feel for how I'm storing this. I like that. And then yeah, so if you are bored with this or sick of it or whatever, go ahead and fast forward till the end and you can see the finished thing. Oh, I like that yellow. I like that. That is a 4x6 card that I just trimmed the bottom off of it, but it's kind of cool because it has the rounded corners. It'll give a little bit different feel in a in layering. I kind of love that with that, but that's got a lot of paper in it. Ooh, let's put it at that. Another thing, if this is distracting to you, I was thinking about this earlier. I don't take the branding strips off until I'm like using that part of it. Not using the branding strip, but until I'm using the top of it. Just because I'm lazy and I don't know. I never really thought about it. That's like that. What was I gonna say? Oh, but if that's distracting to you because that is not the look that I'm thinking for this, or this is not the look I'm thinking for that, etc. Or like the snowman don't really go with that. Feel free to cut those off if that is giving you a hard time mentally, and then move on from there. Again, I'm just making this really, really simple. I'm just pulling out things I like. Not really a lot of rhyme or reason to it. And just kind of sitting things together. Oh, I like that. cute. It's a little scallop from Storytellers. There. I hope all of this is actually in frame, because right now it's kind of all over my desk. It might not be in frame. I'm sorry if it's not. This is another fun thing too, is that if you kind of want to play with your stuff, but you don't really have time to actually scrap, this is something you could sit and do, and it's kind of inspiring and kind of gets your creative juices flowing and makes you want to play with it. I kind of like that. Oh, there's pictures in my scraps. That's not right. But yeah, it kind of gets your brain in that place for creativity without having to actually sit and do anything, especially if you don't really have time. Where this was in something else. I think it was in a different one. Yeah. So yeah, again, even if you didn't have time to scrap, or if you're not really there mentally where you can, or you don't have your photos, or whatever the reason, this would be kind of a fun way to do that, to get some of that creativity out without actually putting a lot of effort into it. Another thing is, if you do crops, this would be a great, like, page starters for crops. Ooh, there's more of that guy. I'll just tuck him in there. Because you could just put together big kits like this, and then maybe take a 12 by 12 paper pad with you, just to kind of, just to use for backgrounds. Like, just take a 12 by 12 that has a lot of different style papers in it, maybe, and then that would give you a lot to work with. And it would store pretty easily, because then you also I mean, if you already had photos picked out, you could totally just go through with your photos and pick things, pick papers based on your photos as well. Oh, I kind of like that. And then you just pack up, and it would be super simple to take with you. I'm not going to put it with that because I like it. I want to use it on something else. I'm just going to set it there for a minute. Ooh, a big piece of that. I want to get that too. With that. Okay, let's go with that. Oh, more of that. I get it. Let's put it with that for now. I kind of like that. Okay. I don't know what that is. Ooh, that's pretty. Ooh, that's pretty. Oh, doing this to take with you to crops. It would be kind of perfect, because then you would have all this stuff together without having to take a whole lot of things. And the way I'm storing it, which you'll see in a minute, is in a binder in just regular 8.5 by 11 page protectors. I stuck a strip of, no, not strip. Sorry, I was looking at a strip of paper when I said that. I stuck a sheet of 8.5 by 11 white cardstock in there, just to keep them, like, keep the page full and keep it from bending or anything, and then make it easy to turn. And then ooh, no, I want to do that with that, maybe. I don't know. I like these. I want to do these in a minute. I can go with that. Anyway, so it's super simple in the binder because I can just kind of flip through and find stuff based on what I want to work on or whatever. I kind of like that. More of this. Let's leave that there for now. I don't really want that there. I like that one. So I'll just put it with that. I don't know where I'm going mentally. I'm sorry. Okay, I am about at a stopping place. I'm going to stop and finish up what I'm doing and maybe make a couple more. I think I have enough page protectors, enough cardstock and page protectors to do 24 page kits. I've done 8 so far. I'm gonna go ahead and organize these, put them in the binder, make however many more kits I'm gonna make, and then I'll go through and show you the binder. Okay, I'm back. That took a little longer than I expected. So this is all that I have left of my scraps. I dwindled that whole thing down to that much. That is crazy. I cannot believe. Okay, so, oh, I just hit the camera. So sorry, guys. Everything's kind of crazy over here. Okay, so this is my binder. It's just a plain white 1 inch. I probably needed like a 2 inch because it's kind of fat over there. But this is just to store it until it gets used. I did come across a couple scraps that I know I put in some of these kits when I was going through at the end, but I can't remember and I can't easily find which kits these 3 pieces are in, so I'm just saving them here, and then whenever I go back to get it, once I pull it out and see that piece, I'll be able to come back and pick up the rest of it. So I have just put in, each page protector has a piece of white cardstock, so I can put a page kit on either side, and then it kind of holds its shape and is easier to turn and all that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 24 page kits. I'm so excited out of all those scraps. So now all I need is my background paper and then photos and embellishments, and it'll be good to go. So hopefully you will see these in some upcoming process videos. If not, if I make them not during process videos, I will of course do a layout share. So that's about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye.